Okay, Neptune key. Let's see if you work. Yes, I think it unlocked. It would be a real shame if it just stopped working all of a sudden. There's incinerator. The incinerator. The first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so. Then this ought to be the lever near the door. Yeah, right here. Pull that and the door should open. Got it. So we're very much nearing the end here.
Yeah, we
There's
are.
still the weird mystery of what the fuck with the Akane right now. But everything I think has been more or less explained totally.
It seems like it.
Damn, did you not account for some stuff there, Santa? What's wrong? Are you okay? Junpei, you came to get me. Of course you did. I made a promise. I'm so glad you're here. So glad. What happened to you? I'm fine. I just fainted. I wasn't feeling very good. I feel a lot better now, though. Are you sure? Yes, just need to rest a little longer. I'm sure I'll be fine. You shouldn't worry about me. Santa? Hey, where is it? Where's the gun? You hide it somewhere? Why are you needing a pain? Hey, where's Ace? Ah, it's not important. I don't have it. I got sucker punched and they took the gun. What? Who took it? What? Isn't that obvious? The guy with the gun?
Villain.
The guy with the gun that you probably could have saw? Yeah, we had to use it. Gotta use it.
Shot again.
Ace. That's what the hell you think you're doing, Ace? Maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo, CEO of Creative Pharmaceuticals. You have me at a disadvantage. I don't like that. You know me, but I don't know you. Do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you begin to understand my pain? The pain of prosopagnosia, right? Another irritating insect. And how do you know that? Good question. It's a good question. No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. It's a waste of time anyway. It's time for me to go. Beep. First is 1. Give me your hand. 8. And with this, 9. The 9th man. Both those bracelet.
He looks like such a pushover.
Absolutely. I mean, he probably was. He was a research guy, right?
Yeah, he was probably a yes man.
I believe I won this game. I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose. Wait, what? He doesn't know who Zero is. Again, prosopagnosia.
Yeah.
What the hell are you planning, Santa? Anyway, this game ends now. I will escape and the rest of you have a slightly less pleasant ending. I suggest you enjoy your final moments. Goodbye. Wait.
There he goes. Ace is such an asshole.
What? Where's an opening? One more time. Now open.
Is it one of those that needs all of us kind of thing?
Oh, what is this? Why? The zero root should be 9. It has to be 9. And why is this opening? Error. It's the final trick. I can't keep doing that. That's hurting. those grunts.
I was gonna say you can just let those ride it out.
Yeah, they're pretty good. That's close. Thank you, 7. Don't mention it. I mean, you should though, because you should let everyone know 7 the hero. Actually, do we remember his name? Do you ever learn his name? That doesn't matter.
We haven't learned it
one
yet.
punch ain't enough for this piece of shit. After what he did 9 years ago, I had to whip him to pieces. If suspect can't talk, there ain't much good. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna have a little chat. What's a cop? Oh, it's a cop. Or detective, actually. 9 years ago, then you must be. Finally figured it out, dumbass. He was wearing this nice suit last time.
He was wearing a nice suit last time.
Like a really nice suit, actually, for detective. What was that? What time frame that was? He was wearing the fucking mobster uniform, so who knows, right?
Yeah.
You killed Kuboto, Nijisaki, and Shishido, right? What? Nijisaki? Alright, you don't know yet. Alright, we'll just go through them in order then. Right now, in this time frame we have, apparently. Let's start off with Kubuto.
I mean, aren't we technically towards the top, though?
I guess, but also, I mean, time? And he's literally right there, not restrained or anything, too.
Yeah,
you talked to Kubuto and managed to convince him to go into the door 5 alone. You killed him, without making it look like you killed him. The way I figured, you had 4 motives. 1. This is also Detective Junpei, with a little bit of Conan going on, by the way. Yeah, a bit more Conan happening. In the Nonary game, the number 9 is dangerous. Whoever had the 9 bracelet, again, he was just kind of channeling from the past him, I guess, or the other world him.
Yeah.
Whoever had a 9 bracelet could join whatever team they wanted. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change the chisel root, which means that number 9 could do whatever they wanted. You wanted to remove that threat as soon as possible. 2. You wanted the number 9 bracelet for yourself, so that you could make use of its power. In fact, you did use the number of Nijisaki. 3. Even if this number hadn't been 9, Kabuto was a problem. He knew your past. He knew what had happened 9 years ago before. You need to silence him before he told anyone. 4. But last and perhaps the most disturbing, you used Kabuto as a test. You want to know how serious this Nona game was. Was it truly life or death, or simply a harmless break? You convinced him to break the rules so you could see what would happen. That was why you killed Kabuto. That was only the first. Next was Nijisaki. While everyone was off looking for the missing parts for the Reds, you ran to Nijisaki near the big hospital room. However, because of your prognosia, you didn't realize he was Nijisaki. Chiefly because when you pet him, he was dressed like Snake. That was why you thought Nijisaki was Snake. Oh, that was Nijisaki. I'll get to that. Anyway, you thought he was Snake. Snake was one of the kids in the experiment 9 years ago. You remembered him because he was the blind kid, but he was presence made you think. Snake was one of my subjects 9 years ago. He probably hates me. But if that's true, why isn't he saying anything? Is he keeping quiet because he can't see? Or perhaps he's working with Zero to get revenge on me. Whatever the reason, anyone who knows my past is a threat. Before he tries anything, I need to get rid of him. That was when you decided you had to kill him. The murder weapon was Kabuto's bracelet. You screamed it over the red? Verified your own number and then grabbed Nijisaki's arm and forced it over the scanner's panel. Then, when the door opened, you kicked him in. 9 seconds later, the door closed. And then 81 seconds passed, and poor Nijisaki was dead. Then you mean to say Snake is still alive? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm as good as new. Better, in fact. Check out these sick robes.
Better, in fact.
Thank you for killing the wrong man, but I can't say I like knowing that you wanted me dead. Although, to be honest, even if you hadn't tried to kill me, I would still hate you very much.
That's fair.
Well, I wouldn't blame you. Last but not least, let's talk about Musashido's death. When Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over to talk to me. You remember what you said? Oh, pocket watch. Might take a look at it. I handed it to you and you left the room. You had been in charge of the Nonoi project. Of course you would have known the solution to every puzzle, which would mean that you also knew how to get out of the Rio house. All you had to do was place the watch and the indentation on the door to unlock it. With the door open, you could enter the captain's quarters. Mistito was there. Conveniently placed next to him was an axe that practically begged you to kill him with it. You picked up that axe and buried the blade deep in the other man's chest. One blow was all it took. Then you returned to the chart room as nothing had happened. There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment? I had no reason to say no, so I followed you to the wheelhouse. When you stepped inside, remember how you slipped your hand into my vest? You pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to cheat during the note. But that wasn't really what you wanted after. Your true purpose had been to slip the watch into my pocket. It wasn't a very good plan, it had way too many holes, and someone saying the wrong thing could have brought it all down around you.
That's
You must have
fair.
been desperate. What made you willing to risk it all to do it? Ace, Mistito's murder is the only one I don't understand. You obviously did it, but why? Because of this. What's with the paper? Just read it. Let's see. Number one. There are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the nonary game. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9 years past. I prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed across the world. Simply look into the camera and repent.
That's fair.
Once you have confessed everything, I will release you from the ship. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the captain's quarters. Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do as you please. Zero. So he told, I guess, him where the captain was located.
Yeah.
So also, the captain was a fresh corpse. When we find him.
Was he a fresh corpse? I didn't realize. I mean,
'Cause
I
the idea
understood
is
all
Ace-
the blood there.
The idea is that Ace takes the pocket watch, opens up the puzzle while you're in the room with Clover, investigating.
Yeah.
Then kills him with the axe, and then comes back and resets the puzzle. And that's the idea right now.
Uh-huh.
When I woke in that room at D-Deck, I found it in my pocket. That was when I chose door 1 when we voted. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's quarters. As you said, I knew how to enter the wheelhouse. My plan was to find a pocket watch before anyone else. If I could, then my alibi would be set. At least that was the plan. Unfortunately for me, you got to it first. That sleight of hand was the best I could manage on short notice. You meant to kill him from the beginning then. Mishasito, I mean. I only knew Mishasito was the witness after I went to the captain's quarters. I asked him and he answered. He seemed groggy. Perhaps he'd only just woken up from sedation. I suppose Nisaki was much the same state. He seemed confused and distorted when I encountered him. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the very beginning, even though I don't know who he was. I pursued the captain's quarters in order to move this so-called witness. Ace, you figured it out, haven't you? You were being manipulated. Yes, so it would seem. I was little more than a puppet in many ways. Everywhere I went, everything was already prepared. The red and large hospital room we dismantled, Nisaki was dressed like Snake. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Mishasito was delirious from anesthetic, so he couldn't fight back. Nisaki as well, in retrospect. I couldn't understand how I could have fallen to a simple trap. But yes, this was a trap. It was Zero trap and I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I did everything he wanted me to. Yeah. By manipulating you, Zero was able to kill people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was to revenge what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa? Huh. What are you talking about? I don't know any. Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I could call you Aoi Kurosaki. Huh? Memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurosaki, no doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess it's all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the Nonary game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you. Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh? Well, I guess no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me.
His consciousness pretty good.
Yeah. I guess he was punched or something similar, so he probably would. And that was a long conversation too, so he probably was fine a long time ago. Just waiting to show up. Man, I really wish they would stop talking to him so I can get onto my evil plan going on. What the fucking man? Jeez. My all for revenge plan. You got me. I'm Aoi Kurosaki. I was one of the kids in the Nonary game 9 years ago. I made it out, so did Snake over there. But there's one thing. No, I guess there's two things you got wrong. Number one, I ain't Zero. What? Wait, what? Zero's helped me Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant, like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come with all this.
Is June Zero?
All I did was follow Zero's orders. And if you're not Zero, who is? Come on there then, Junpei. Didn't say two things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said, all of this was for revenge what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Nonary game happened. But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the Nonary game. To save someone. Save someone? Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane. What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurosaki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw... What? What the hell? Where's this? Where's Akane Kurosaki? My head feels like it's gonna pop. Seven. What is going on here? I don't know. I just... What a god, my head's like it's gonna explode. What was the Nonary project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomenon? Where two organisms communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenetic field theory. Could human beings use... you might be ahead right now. Using invisible fields, exchange information. Oh boy, we're about to get some real shit. That was what
here we go.
Doing. And it's all going to culminate into one of the biggest bullshit moments you're going to scream to, Dwayne. There were two separate building locations. One was the Gigantic and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies, identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into morphic field sets and to transmit them to the brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the other receivers were put in the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split up, but there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. However, for some reason, she was placed in Gigantic with the receivers like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? Please say you know where this is going, Junpei. Well, what is going? Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't. How did you know Ace had prosagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kabuto and how Nisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found that Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it? Well, that's... He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures then?
Oh my god.
Imagine a river that splits in two like an upside down Y. We're getting there.
Oh my god.
The river flows from the top to the bottom from a single stream with 2 branches. He's not Zero. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backward. Information the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happened on either fork of the river, even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another.
This is fucking stupid.
Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet, but I am also Zero. No, that's not true. I'm not really a Zero. Not yet. Perhaps you say I am less than Zero. Zero is my future. In 9 years, I will be Zero.
Fuck off.
Here we go.
Oh, fuck off.
Where did she go? June? No. Akane. Where did you go? Santa. What's... Oh, shit. Freeze. Santa's got the gun. Guess you picked it up when you went watching.
That is a stylistic angle.
It's a stylistic face and the angle, but also that face isn't perfect. Look, it's fine. The budget was somewhere else probably at times here and there. Guess you picked up when you weren't watching. Also DS. They can only do so much. Look, like he's 10 tables on Ace though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head. Get up. He sure isn't about to take that gun off for a minute, is he? Ace didn't put up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think he would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? Doesn't need to verify to go to that door, but... Hey, what's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? You can't do any number door, it's just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking? Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for you to make a wish come true. That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? He's gonna leave in a corny line like that? What does he even mean? Sit. They're out.
You just gonna go out like that?
He's gonna leave the door. So I'm not sure how much you piece together. I'd say go ahead and say your piece right now.
Did Akane not die and she became some weird telepathic? Or is it we're speaking to ourselves from the past, from the future, from the past?
So, I don't remember when they'll explain it here, but they're probably about to explain it here. But I think you're not too far off there. If not exactly right, just explaining it, the self was off.
Oh, man.
So, Santa wasn't Zero. He was the assistant to Zero. This entire game was made a bit for revenge, mind you. Like, probably, I mean, the fact that he definitely wanted to kill him is probably the weak point of it. But he technically didn't make this game. All of this was to save someone, and we can only assume who.
We could say, we're trying to save his sister, I'm assuming.
Yeah. We have been talking about the whole morphogenic field the entire time. And the idea of how it functions of this, essentially the boy down to the end of it all would be the receiver and transmitter.
Receiver and transmitter.
But Akane was a receiver.
No, she was a transmitter.
She was a transmitter? I thought she was receiver only. Or a transmitter,
she was a transmitter, and she was brought with the receivers by some
on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the red. Yo, we can do this. I've just got it. It's not gonna work. There's no way. And unfortunately, I think that meant she couldn't escape. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. She got grabbed by Ace Hongo back in the day. 24, 5, 7, 8, 26, 2, 6, 8. Is there any combination that'll work? Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook? We're not. Oh, this is the next revelation, by the way. This is the Zero's trick. The last one, I think. The bullshit. But we'll see.
Oh, that one of us isn't the right number. Okay, fuck
Well, we're about to figure something else here. But she couldn't solve one of the puzzles she needed to before when Ace threw her into the Inferno. And after 18 minutes or whatever, she died in the result of it. So now she died, technically.
She died.
But yet she's here. So now the mystery is there of probably she's able to see the future, as she probably explained, because we assume that's the case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't reached that point yet, technically.
She can manipulate the morphogenic field and
to see possibilities of the future.
And that's probably why she was getting feverish, is because she's doing shit
that's
she's
the
not
wrong
supposed
timeline,
to.
I guess, that was she was supposed to be dead or something weird.
Yeah.
And that's also why she kind of just disappeared randomly in some of those other endings, I believe.
She did just disappear kind of random. She did disappear this time too.
Yep. She's trying to do math clever right now to figure something out. Give me that. Oh, at least something got away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Yep. Uh-huh. Oh. Oh.
2, 4, 5, 7.
What? Then there's no other way? Lotus. Looks like she figured it out, though. Man, it's just too cruel. It's okay. Go. He was just going through the numbers and trying to figure out how they get to the 9 door.
Yeah.
Come on, you know we can't do that. So it's that this revelation thing of the save Akane in the end. It's gonna be a little bit here. God damn it, you idiot. Where'd that come from? Looks like she was expecting as much as I did. You're not. Look, it'd be bad, alright. For a cop, he shouldn't have much confidence. Bad? Yeah. If there were an asshole like you, I'd be out of a job. Huh? It's like two sundares trying to mate. Look, I'm just not leaving you behind.
They're just
end of
trying
story.
to mate.
7. He's right, I'm not leaving you either. Me too. You didn't honestly think I'd bend you, did you? You're idiots. Like stuff you want, Lotus. We can see you're about to cry.
Like that comic
That
where
being
they both
said-
realize they're bottoms. They're both soon, so they want to fuck each other. They just don't want to tell it.
There you go. However, I doubt we'd be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind. Huh? Why? I just remember what happened to Ace. I couldn't see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess he was attempting to do earlier at the Red. Oh yeah. Now what is this? Why? The route should be 9. It has to be 9. Then why is it an opening? Just to see. Why don't we give it a shot? Give it
Is
a
it
shot.
supposed to equal 6?
Yes, that is what I said. It's something similarly dumb.
Or whatever the fuck June's number was.
Well, I think put just the 4. I think initially tried the one that we thought would work without Lotus.
And it didn't work.
You're right. It ain't opening. But it did open 9 years ago. Digital route was 9 then. I'm sure of it. Think maybe they changed the settings? Perhaps. Shit. We can't get through the door. We can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get to that hole that popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at the door with a 9 on it. This is it. This is the end. Damn. Fuck. Like, bye.
I'm pretty sure that area is full of water now. Details.
Oh, hey look.
I
Akane
was
Vision.
watching.
I was watching. I
Oh,
watched
that
everything
does say
that was
Akane Vision. Fuck off!
I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch. He really touched himself a lot. Like, fuck. I did not need to see all of that.
There's a lot of touching stuff.
I felt everything he felt. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness was inside him. So the more field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off in the ship we were on. Time doesn't matter at this point anymore.
Time doesn't matter at this point
Yeah,
anymore.
we're ending the end game. That was when my end game. That was my resonance with him began. My resonance even melted. Event melted into him. We became one inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as 2 movies showing on the same screen at the same time. It eventually becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me. One over here. This was all the kids. Also, this one looks a bit like Lotus. Again, her children were in the game.
Her children.
And stuff like that, yeah. Come on over here. That was my brother, Hoey. He was yelling. I followed him. He's a loud guy. I don't like that about him. On me, so no the children. They all looked like they were about my age. Come on, hurry up. We could run down the long stairs and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry. I want to go home, she cried. I want to go home. Another girl stopped the crying girl and glared down at her. It's been 2 hours since the Nona game began. We're starting to fall apart. Just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, he would call him Snake. Again, he's seeing the future at the same time right now.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Could you come over here for a moment? He was older than most of us, voice and had authority and dignity. The fights had died down, and we gathered around him. I have a little sister. She's very important to me. Right now, she's only building Q, and is definitely trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday, coincidentally. As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 four-leaf clovers. I was going to give this to her.
Clover's 18. She does not look 18.
Does not.
She does not.
I think that's more of a convenient thing, but I could be wrong about it. I don't know if that's a Japanese thing that was translated over kind of thing or not. But it doesn't matter in the end. She does wear a poofy jacket, but yeah, still. In his hand were 9 four-leaf clovers. I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I'm blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is... well, it's difficult. Can you imagine going through an entire clover patch just for 4-leaf clovers when you're blind?
That sounds like hell.
But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hope that this would show how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or sister in building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off the ship. Do you understand? When to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. We can take all these into our heart and promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. If you believe what I've told you, and you understand then I want you to each to have one of these, the promise between friends. He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say. Don't ever forget. As long as you have that, we will always be connected. You understand? Everyone's connected, by the way. Totally maybe this guy, or this guy,
Everything
or her.
is connected.
Totally know these 3 are. Nothing. Before he's gone, we were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked to the doors. Incinerator! Warning! Before long, we all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time it was the only one. But if there's only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape. What are we going to do? There aren't any other doors. We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gone bad enough already. Warning! Warning! Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat, emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Get the fuck out. What? What's happening?
Get the fuck out.
What did that thing say? It sound good. My brother always followed hard and answered. I think it means this room's gonna burn. I guess it was in English. Japanese. I think it means this room's gonna burn. Burn? The plaque on the door says incinerator. And that voice said that incineration is about to start, and incinerator means burn. No. Help me. Every terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. Pretty ugly, too. God, I hate him. Thanks later, we could have called him 7. Don't worry, kid. Sorry, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you. The rest happened just like 7 had said. It did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent, away from the incinerator. The rest were let through the 9 door. It came on the other side of door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through the doors and began to jump the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Oi, Snake, and 7. Nona, which was her daughter. I think Lotus's daughter? I think 7. The other 2 were
Lotus's daughter, yeah.
Yeah. Going through door 9 before us. We're up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We left across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled up like a tornado. Eventually, they pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced at my sword from time to time, see if they had caught up. That was when I realized. Oh no, where is it? Did I drop Jippy's present? I knew it had when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me. I was sure of it. I'm a little kid who can see the future. I'm a little kid who can see the future. I simply moved. I went to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship. I hid in the shadows, and moments later I felt a rush of wind as they ran past me up the staircase. I waited until they were out of sight, and then I ran. I moved as quietly as I could, down and down and down. Finally, it was the bottom deck. I ran to the hallway and looked around frantically. There it is! It was just where I thought it would be, sitting on the opening of the vent. I ran over and snatched it from the floor, but I ran back toward the stairs and freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah? The door incinerator opened, and a man stepped out. It was Hongo. Yintaro Hongo. 9 years later, we called him Ace. How wonderful he decided to come back. His smile made my blood run cold. It looked mechanical, as someone simply pulled at the corners of his mouth. Come with me, we must continue the experiment. I shook my head and eyes wide. Slowly, I began to walk backwards. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4, Then I spun around and broke into a run. I felt Hongo's hand close over my left wrist. I said, come with me! There was one edge of the sandy to his voice now. I pulled as hard as I could. No, stop, let go of me, let go. I shook my body and flailed my arms, trying desperately to get Hongo to let go of me. But I was still only a child. I was no match for a man like Hongo. Stop stunning, goddammit, do as I tell you. He heaved on my arm, trying to pull me into the incinerator. I screamed, help me, somebody help me. Then suddenly, Akane! The door to the stairs flew open. My brother, he burst out of it. Behind him came Seven and Snake. Akane! He cried my name again and stood up toward Hongo. You came back, I cried out, but then... You're too late, idiot. Hongo threw his full weight against my arm, pulling us both into the incinerator. The force of it threw into me on the floor. I scrambled to my feet and looked toward the open number 9 door. Hongo stood between it and me, but behind him I could see my brother and his fists clenched. But those fists never reached Hongo. With a cold, heartless screech of metal on metal, the door slammed shut. Hongo glanced at me mechanically, his face registering that there was an object there, but nothing he would consider a human being. Then he turned away and walked to the red that sat next to the door. He reached into his pocket and moved 2 bracelets. He waved them both over the scanner panel. 2 asterisks appeared on the red. He checked the screen, then tossed the bracelets closely on the floor. What was he doing? What was the point? He made no effort to explain himself, of course. He said nothing at all and walked past me as though I was nothing more than a rock by the roadside. A few moments later, the 2 other doors slid shut as well. Faintly, I could hear someone pounding on the door behind me. I turned around and ran toward the door with the 9. Akane, you okay? I could hear a voice from the other side of the door. I could hear a frightened voice. Help me! My throat was already raw, but I screamed as loud as I could. My voice echoed lonely around the empty room. What should I do? I think I'm trapped in here. Where's Hongo? He went out the other door? What? Then it started again. Warning! Warning! Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Incineration beginning now in Junpei vision. What?
Now in Junpei vision.
Yeah. It's the new wave, the new hit technology. Tell you, please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Oh, shit, man, I knew it's gonna escape, but that's one hell of a creepy voice. I knew it. It's starting. It's at the start of the incinerator. Fuck, man, I never thought I'd hear that damn voice again after 9 years. The hell? What the hell? What in God's name are you talking about? It's 9 years, something, then you talk about some sort of fucking experiment? You aren't making any sense. He has not been with us the entire time.
He has not been with us this entire time.
See, it's completely in the dark. I'm sorry, but we really don't have time to explain it right now. God, now we don't have time.
Now we don't have time.
Jeez. It's a really different thing when it's in minutes, not in hours. It happens. If you told me we had like, I don't know, 0.2 hours, you know what? That's a lot of time. But not, it's not actually. Incineration beginning 17 minutes.
17 minutes.
You know what that means, right? Incinerate means burn. English, man. It's like we're Japanese or something. It's weird. What kind of incinerate do you think I am? No, incinerate means just, unfortunately, a lot of that. It sucks to with visual novels when that works, unfortunately. God damn it. Okay, fine. I won't say anything else. Talk about whatever you want. You have to do something for me. 7, figure this out. Why me? Just shut up and stop this thing. How the hell? There has to be some emergency shut-off button. There isn't anything like that. What do you know? Because I looked for it 9 years ago. Yeah, Lotus is
That's
happy
fair.
about that. Can't really blame her. Wait, the floor isn't moving?
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.